Hey guys, we're here on Wrecked Magazine Weekly. We have James Deane over here, who's pretty much won every single championship in Europe about 5 times. He's done a little bit of driving in Formula D. He decided to celebrate his 22nd birthday last night in Las Vegas, so we had him stop by the Wrecked Magazine office on the way home. How's it going, James?
All's good, very fresh after our trip in Vegas. Really enjoyed being out here for the last round of Formula D. Delighted to be here with Wreck Magazine for this interview. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, so I guess real quick, you obviously weren't just here to be in Las Vegas for your 22nd birthday. You came out to Irwindale this weekend. Mike Essa, huge championship. You got to see some of your Irishmen perform pretty well. What was your kind of thoughts visiting Irwindale altogether?
Yeah, well, I think a lot has changed since I've driven here in 2010. A lot of the cars have gotten so much faster. There's a lot of new rules in the rule book that make things very interesting. But yeah, definitely I'd like to come back sometime and give it a shot. I think it all comes down to what car you're driving, what kind of a budget you have, and obviously speed and grip is a huge part of it now. So
Right.
if you have a bad car, I think you're wasting your time. So that's why I'm not really jumping at any opportunities. I'd like to, if I'm coming over here in the future, I'd like to have a good setup. So yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of things are after changing.
Yeah, so you're saying like let's talk real quick some rulebook stuff. Like obviously there's a pretty big difference between the rulebooks and the European competitions rulebooks in Formula D. What are, for let's say your average drift fan that just watches drifting and doesn't really get into the technical aspects, what would you say are the biggest kind of differences between like the rulebook and like Drift All Stars, Irish Drift Championship, and Formula Drift?
I think in Drift All Stars and Irish Drift Championship, the judges see what happens in front of them, and basically they judge it on how exciting it was. Maybe if there's a small mistake, they might say, right, he made that mistake because it's pushing so hard. But in FD, I think like the 2-strike rule and stuff, you can only, if you make one mistake and maybe something else small happens, you get a 0, and I think that might be a little bit harsh. But just watching it, I think it kind of takes some of the excitement away of people pushing extremely hard because they might be a little bit afraid to make a mistake, or it could even cause them to make mistakes because they're trying not to make that mistake. But yeah, there's definitely big differences in the rules between European drifting and drifting over here.
So like Formula Drift, you would say is almost more of like it's like an over technical analysis as opposed to like Drift All Stars, where it's just kind of like what they see is what they get.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too technical, to be honest. But that's just of what I've seen at the weekend. Like, there's been some runs, Chelsea Donofa and Matfield. I think if I was judging that, they made 2 small mistakes on killer chase runs, and I think that I would have went with the Donofa and Matt kept going through. But with the 2-strike rule and stuff like that, that kind of killed them, and I think it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, especially Matt had a really good
Yeah, that was a sick
run
chase
and
run.
just
Like,
got over aggressive for that
yeah,
small
it was
amount
the
of time.
best run of the night, and to get knocked out over essentially making the one mistake, but
Right.
knocking a clip and putting a wheel slightly over, I think it was a bit harsh in my own eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's talk about your season. Like obviously, Irish Drift Championship's been done for a little over a month or so now.
Yeah.
4 rounds, right? You won all 4.
5 rounds.
5 rounds. Oh, so 5 rounds. You won 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Right? And you qualified first in all 5 rounds.
Yeah, it's been an extremely successful year for me. We worked extremely hard over the winter rebuilding the RX-7, got some great partners on board this year, and one key thing to winning a championship is having a reliable team and a reliable car under you, and that's what we had this year, and it made my life a hell of a lot easier. And I was fully focused on trying to do as well as possible, like being prepared before the events, and just all small things that I'm after learning with experience of my years drifting, and it all just came together. It was a serious year. Really enjoyed it.
Nice. And let's try and help some people that don't know a lot about IDC. When I make a statement that you qualified first at every round, you won 4 rounds, I think a lot of people go, man, there's probably no competition.
Yeah,
Like James Deane is out there driving by himself.
It's not like that at all.
Let's talk about, I picked out a few competitors that I'd like to hear your thoughts on. Some guys that I know from doing stuff and posting with Wreck Magazine. Just talk about him. Just see what you think. Like Shane O'Sullivan is a guy that comes to mind. Jap Speed Monster, S15 Sylvia. Tell me about him as a competitor. Like, how's his kind of car hold up to yours?
Yeah, he's got a really good car. He's got a S15 with a 6-cylinder turbo, sequential gearbox. Like, the car is really well built. He's running on Maxxis tires and Team Jaspeed. He's really good. He's a really consistent driver. Qualifies excellently all the time. Big angle, big smoke, and he's really aggressive when it comes down to it. Not an easy competitor. Um, he finished second in this year's championship actually, and yeah, he's been driving really well. So the competition is extremely tough in Ireland.
Nice. And then for maybe some people don't know, Darren McNamara is still driving there.
Yeah,
He's got that two-rotor A86. Like, how's he done over the season?
yeah,
against you?
that's a crazy car. He's had some problems at some of the events this year, but he got it all together for the last round in the championship and finished in third place. He was driving really well. That just gives you an idea of the competition in Ireland, like, and he's running a really good car too. That has a sequential gearbox as well, and
Yeah.
well over 500 horsepower. It's a good car.
And then Dwayne
McKeever.
Good, I was gonna mess that up.
Yeah,
He's got like a yellow 180. Like, tell us about him.
he's so aggressive. He's like a Japanese style of driving. I absolutely love battling with him. Like, he's my favorite competitor over there because when I'm going into a battle, I know there's no games, there's no anything. It's just 100% balls out. You can guarantee when you're entering the first corner, he'll be right on your door. Like, it's just
Awesome.
really exciting. The crowd love it, and maybe he can get a bit too aggressive sometimes, and that's why he finished third in the championship this year. But
Nice.
he's seriously impressive to watch. The level of competition is not easy over there, that's for sure.
Awesome. Let's talk about, while we're on the conversation I see, let's talk about your RX-7 you had and ran this year. You said you made some refreshes to the changes. Give the audience, let's just say someone's never seen your RX-7 before. Give us a basic layout of your setup, what you guys have done to the RX-7.
Yeah, basically when I competed in the Red Bull World Drift Championships, I had my S14 sent over, and there was some delays with getting the car back to Ireland, so for the 2009 championship that was coming up after that, my car wasn't going to be back in time, so we had to build a new car. So we had only like 2 months to build a new car.
Okay.
I came across a RX-7. We bought it, and basically the engine was gone. The rotary two-rotor was blown up, so we pulled that out. We didn't have much time, so we decided to drop in an SR20 because they're very reliable back in Ireland. Like, everyone knows the setup. It's pretty simple, reliable setup. So we decided to go with that just because there's not many people in Europe building reliable rotary engines, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. I've been using it. I used it in 2009, 2010, and 2012, and rebuilt it for this year.
Nice.
So it's got a ZRP 2.2 stroker kit, turbo Agard GTX 3076 turbo, BC Racing coilovers, ACT clutch, Mishimoto rad and intercooler. It works really well, and Falcon came on board with me for full sponsorship this year, and been using the RT615K tires towards the end of the season, and the car is super fast, so
Awesome.
that makes my job a little easier too. It's a really good car.
What do you do? Can you give us any of your like steering secrets, like angle and stuff? Like, how do you guys get it out? I know it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
In the RX-7.
Well, that's why we have AeroKit made us a custom body kit this year to push everything out wide. Basically, we made our own wishbones and hubs at Deane Sport, which is our family business back home. We build drift cars, rally cars, time attack cars there.
Oh, awesome.
So it's handy that we can do our own work ourselves. It keeps the cost down a lot as well. But we basically pushed top and bottom wishbone well out, shorten the hubs, simple enough setup.
Very cool.
The lock is pretty good in it. So it's not as easy as a Nissan to drive, but we got it working pretty well.
Nice. Let's talk about, obviously, how you got to Formula Drift in the first place. From what I understand, Darren kind of helped out, right? And connected you to the Falcon. Before you got to that event, in your wildest dreams, did you think that you'd be tandeming against Darren here in the States?
No, that's like, I didn't really think, it didn't even cross my mind, to be honest. But when we qualified, when we saw the bracket we were on, we were kind of like, is James going to make it that far? But yeah, Darren really helped me getting that seat to drive Long Beach. Basically went over to Irwindale in 2009 with him and got talking to the guys at Falcon Tire, and they were kind enough to give me a serious opportunity to drive that car, and I was so excited. Like, but yeah, when I think that was top 16. I remember before that battle, I was there willing. I just said, right, I don't even want to drive. Like I said, like, you're fighting for a championship. I'm only doing this event. Like so. But the guys at Falcon said, right, just battle it out and see what happens, and that's what we did basically. I just went in as hard as I could. Darren went as hard as he could, and made a small mistake on the final turn. But I just pushed as hard as I could, leading, and did exactly what he taught me to do in qualifying, which was rub the wall. And
Right.
I'd say he wasn't too happy when he saw me doing it the way I did it. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like it's all like a dream looking back at it. That was a crazy event.
And then, so then you beat Darren and moved in the top 8. How was that? What were you feeling like at that time?
I kind of felt bad, to be honest. I didn't know. I didn't expect I was going to beat him. Like, he was running so. I think he qualified second there. He was running so well there. I just drove as hard as I could and put down a good lead run and a good chase run and managed to go through to the top 8. And I was up against Tanner Faust in the top 8.
Right.
Got a really close run with him as well, but his car in a straight line just left the SR sitting.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, losing to Tanner is nothing to be disappointed about. He won the whole championship that year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't like you got taken out by some nobody by any means. Well, yeah. Speaking of that, let's talk a little bit more about your experience. We spoke a little bit before we filmed this show, and you were kind of mentioning 2014. Your goal is Drift All Stars. Give us a general, for someone who doesn't know what the Drift All Stars series and championship is all about. Give everyone kind of like a 30-second tour of like what the series is like.
Yeah, well, the championship basically tours all around Europe. It's after getting really big, and this season actually was like huge. They had a lot of street events, went to a lot of big tracks, and huge attendance at all the events, and it seems to be really taking off in Europe. So I won the Irish Championship this year, so I'd like to give it a shot next year. So that's what I'm planning right now. So I've just bought a S14 back home. Thinking of putting a 2JZ in it. Building it with all my sponsors like Garrett, ACT, sponsors back home, AeroKit, Falcon, and just put together a good car and give the championship a shot. So that's what my plans are basically for 2014, and just see where it takes me.
Nice. Last time you drove Drift All Stars, correct me if I'm wrong, 2011. You won the championship. There was 9 events. You podiumed 9 times in a SR powered 13.
Yeah. In 2011, I think it was Drift All Stars had 6 rounds, and I did 3 Irish events as well and podiumed with the 3 of them. So it was 9 podiums between the 2 championships, and I won the Drift All Stars championship that year. So it's a really good year as well. I was driving the Lowbrain Drifters PS13. It was a lot of fun touring around Europe.
Yeah. So now if you dedicate to doing Drift All Stars in 2014, does that kind of mean that IDC is on the back burner? Can you do both? Is there schedule conflicts? You don't know yet?
Its schedules aren't out yet, but I'll still have the RX-7 back in Ireland, so
Okay.
I'm planning on doing the full Drift All Stars Championship in the S14 and doing some whatever events I can do in Ireland. Plus, Falcon have a lot of events in Europe, like the Nürburgring and Tuning World and Bodensee. A lot of big shows. Like we're at the 24-hour race earlier this year, and there was well over 100,000 people at the event, and we got to do a demo on the Nürburgring F1 track, and that was just huge atmosphere, like serious buzz, major crowds.
I went to my first 24-hour like VLN race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my first 24-hour VLN race last year actually.
Yeah.
I made it out to the August race with a KW suspension. It was a good time. Great crowd, like a real just like genuine true motorsports crowd for sure. Curious though, I got to ride around on the Nürburgring in a Audi TTS. I can't for the life of me imagine drifting on that track.
Wow.
I mean, is it just unreal compared to being on other courses? I mean, because the pavement, I mean, obviously I feel like most people probably only played, that track in a video game. The pavement is
it's
atrocious.
it's even crazy on a video game. Like,
Right. So, like, how is drifting on that track in real life?
I actually didn't do the Nordschleife. It was just the F1 track.
Okay.
So even the F1 track it's just flat out 4 gear,
Yeah.
smoke everywhere. But there was talks of doing the Nordschleife last year because of the VLN race couldn't go ahead because of it snowed and froze overnight. But it was still frozen, so they wouldn't let us out. But they were going to let us out on the track. So there's still a possibility that we will actually drift in Nordschleife. But that'd be a crazy experience.
Yeah. I guess to hit rewind a little bit, you mentioned like obviously your guys' family business involves building rally cars, drift cars, and such. So I mean, is your dad like a racer then as well? Has it kind of just been something that's been in the family?
Oh, it's in the family. My dad's dad even he was working on cars. Then my father he was building rally cars. That was his business.
Okay.
So motorsport's been in our family all my life, all my brothers' lives, and all my father's life. So yeah, it's unreal. Like all I know is cars, and that's what I love. There's nothing really outside of it for me. I'm addicted. Like it's like a drug.
Nice.
But yeah, like my father, my father and my uncle, they used to rally. My father was a navigator, and there's actually a funny story. They were doing a rally. You can probably find a photo on my Facebook page. They were doing a rally. The throttle cable broke in the car. They took the bonnet off the car. My father threw it over the ditch. My father actually got up and sat on the bulkhead of the engine and did the throttle with his fingers. And there's a picture of them coming over a jump, and you can see there's light under the front tires, like the car was about to jump off the road. So I think he was even madder than we are. Like it's just crazy. Like I wouldn't do that.
That's pretty crazy. Did they end up doing well in the rally?
They caught him past the car. So
Past the car. That's pretty impressive. Ireland. Where are you from in Ireland?
County Cork. It's basically south of Ireland.
South of Ireland. Okay.
10 minutes away from Darren McNamara, and there's a.
Oh really? You're that
yeah,
close?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
There's a lot of Irish drifters around our area. It's like a little drift county.
How far are you from Dublin? Let's say where most people are listening now.
About 2 hours.
How far are you from the Jameson factory?
I don't know where that is. I presume it's in Dublin, so about 2 hours.
Probably okay.
But,
Okay.
Magners, we're about an hour away from that. So.
Ooh. Oh, so I can fly to Dublin, visit Magners,
Yeah.
and then come see you. Okay.
If you can find us after Magners.
Probably not, to be realistic. But all right, I'm gonna test my Irish coolness here.
All right.
So I don't know if you've ever met Tony Angelo's spotter, Lindsay Ross.
I don't think
Long
so.
hair. Well, he is obsessed with this Irish band, and I was in Japan before he was Tony's spotter. He was working for Honda, and he introduced me to this Irish band from Limerick that I love.
Right.
Yes, the RubberBandits.
Oh yeah.
So is that like cool Irish?
It's funny Irish.
Yeah. Okay. But are they actually like pretty relatively popular in Ireland?
Yeah, they would be. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I could impress Irish people if I told them.
Yeah, talk about them and they'll be impressed. Tell them you're just like them.
I don't wear a grocery bag on my head though. It could be a problem. Tell them I'm just like them. So then, so what's your drink of choice as an Irishman?
It is Magners, yeah.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Can't go wrong with that.
I agree. Now, do you ever mix it with like lager, or are you just
Not really. Like
just
when I tour around, I basically just drink beer because it's easy. I'm not that fussy. But or milk. I like milk and water, and that's about it. Maybe that's why I'm so tall. Maybe.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, just to let everyone know, by the way, I'm sitting on my leg, just so I don't look like a midget next to this guy, because he's 6'6", and I'm like 5'11", so I'm uncomfortably sitting on my leg just to not look like a midget next to you.
You'll fall over when you stand up.
Yes, I probably will. Perfect. Yeah.
So we'll see what the future has.
Cool. Well, spent a good 30 minutes with us. I appreciate it. I know you were just come down from your birthday. Probably need to get back to, LA, have some fun. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you 2014, whether it's in Formula D or hopefully I can finally make it out and do some All-Stars or IDC. And as we close, more cars are getting stolen. It's not a safe place here. You can go back to Ireland.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks,
Cheers, man.
Appreciate it.